I'm Richard Lewis, reporting from Cadderhead.org. I'm here with two representatives of Fragmasters TOXIC. It's the man who talks a million miles a minute, more so than me, Whindanski, and on the end is the young buck, Z. Right, I've got to think of some general questions for you, and I don't prepare for source interviews because I don't rank it as important as StarCraft and all that. So I'm going to just toss some stuff out there. I want to talk about Epic LAN. Obviously, you weren't there. You were. The team underperformed, but you had some high-profile mercenaries. So for the person who was there, so I'll start with you, what went wrong and why did Fragmasters underperform?
I just think it was a last-minute mix, and I think we just didn't have anything. And I was up against like CRG, playing for like 2 weeks and stuff. Not really sure what went wrong. We was all like good individually and stuff, but I just don't think we could have competed with like CRG, who have been practicing for so long for the event.
The thing is, though, it wasn't so much CRG looked well drilled. There were some absolutely awful clutches that you guys give away. Like when they did them two back-to-back 1v3s. And if you haven't seen this game, honestly, if you want to see some absolute dog shit clutching, do check this out, because it was terrible. And you guys, I mean, I think that was the nail in the coffin for you guys. But I mean, why was that? I mean, was Henry rusty? I gotta ask.
No, it was nothing to do with that. It was just communication and stuff like that. I think just because it was a mix, we just didn't have to communicate together, and like them clutches, as you said, were just shocking. They weren't good at all.
And you weren't there, and you said it was because you weren't there that they lost. Do you stand by that?
No, I don't think so. Our caller wasn't there either, so I think that's probably one of the main reasons why we were both on holiday, and we both said at the last I-Series that we couldn't attend, so they had to get they had the tickets from last time, so they just sent a mix and they're crap.
I got to ask as well, because Darren, obviously your manager, that's Yak, the big fella, he's always talking about how, you know, his dream would be to have this wonderful, glorious, stable team, and yet Fragmasters lineups last about as long as a fucking wine gum. So how is it that you guys have never kind of managed to find the right balance and are always chopping and changing? You know, what's the reason behind it? Why can't you guys just stick to 5?
Well, with Pez, like we had him for the I-Series, and we obviously were going to go to Epic LAN, like as that 5. Like there was no problems after the event, so we came online and was like, yes, let's back to practicing. And basically he said, I'm away on holiday for I-Series. So then me and Neil then obviously went off on holiday for Epic LAN. So it was obviously we weren't going to wait for 2 events to get to play again. So we removed Pez, like he basically left. And we got Josh, and at the time we weren't going to Epic LAN, and we had XL party mix with me, Neil, Jigam, Jimmy, and Weber, and we were practicing for that because it was like quite a decent prize spot. So we practiced for that, and they made the Epic LAN mix, so they practiced for that. So we were like 3 players in one team, 2 players in another team, practicing against each other, which was crazy. It was like really mad. And so after we came back, you know, after the two events, we just felt that when we started practicing again, that me and Mo were quite similar, like play style. And if you ever play with me, I'm really difficult to play with. Yeah. So with 2 of us in the team, it was chaos, basically mental, and it was no way like if we were come to this event, we would have done crap with that 5. Like it's not because of Josh. It was just like, the 5 of us weren't right. So with them, then we got, who did we get? It's our 5th player. Jamie. Yeah, we got Jamie.
Got there in the end.
Yeah, we got Jamie. We always wanted Jamie from the start. Like after we got removed with Pez, we tried to get Jamie. He decided to stick with Rasta, and so after anyway XL, we got to know him a little bit better, and he decided to join us instead of going with Rasta XD as a mix. So we got Jamie, and it was really good. And we didn't really get much practice because, like, we were looking for games and it was impossible, like absolutely impossible. Everyone was playing CSGO, and we were like, okay, we'll play some CSGO and CSS like in between. So we tried to play a few games, like of different games, and it just did not go at all. We played awful. We didn't know what to do really. So we decided just to play individually, like just deathmatch, you know, a little bit a day and everything for the event, and you know, just go on the server, go over a few things, and that's it. So,
well, a lot of people haven't been playing. I mean, this is the thing that everyone we've been talking to has been saying the same thing. Like, not even Very Games have bothered practicing for this, and obviously they've got a roster change. I mean, is that going to work to your advantage, or because it's all a kind of level playing field, do you think, you know, maybe it's still going to be just individual skills going to come at the forefront, and therefore you guys don't really have a chance of winning?
I think we have a better chance now than if Very Games were practicing a lot, because we have, like, as you said, we've got like hardly any hours as well. So I think we have more of a chance now than we would if their games were practicing and we were practicing, because, you know, they have boot camps for this LAN as well, but they haven't practiced as much. I think it'll be more down to individual skill instead of like flashes and stuff like that.
Has it got to the stage where CSS, I mean, simply isn't worth practicing for, though? I mean, like, it's been the recurring theme every event. Everyone's saying the same thing. We didn't practice. We didn't bother. We couldn't be asked. I mean, can you explain what it's like for people at the top end and kind of how that demotivation has kind of spread across the scene?
Like, how can you be motivated for a dead game? Like, you can't. You literally can't. So when we come on, you're like, well, why would we bother playing? Like, it's I-Series is the last event. There's nothing else. So,
but how did that happen? Because Copenhagen Games, the best thing since sliced bread. Everyone came back to Source for like a week, and then immediately afterwards it was dead.
The thing is though, like, everyone was playing Go, and I was like, this game is crap. It's awful. Literally the worst game ever. So no one didn't wanted to play it. So then everyone came back to CSS. Everyone was getting pumped, like back, you know, for this I-Series, because we were heard like Copenhagen was going to come, and all those, and Shark Gaming and whoever they are were going to come, and so. Then all of a sudden, like, Go gets updated, everyone switches back, all the mixed channels get, you know, an IRC, get made, and everyone starts playing Go, and all the CSS teams just die, like, instantly, in a matter of, that's it.
But I mean, are you guys enjoying CSGO at least? Are we going to see you switch over?
Yeah, individually we've been playing it. We haven't been playing much as a team, but we've been playing on Gather channels and stuff, but everyone likes it in our team, and we will be switching after this event, yeah.
Are you surprised at the Source players that don't like it? Because I've done a few interviews, again, like out at Assembly Summer, there were some Danish guys out there, and I don't think the Finnish guys are going to switch over, but I think that's more a question of age, because, you know, they're getting almost as old as I am. I've stayed 28 for the last few years. So are you guys, like, you know, I mean, surprised that a Source player would find Go unplayable?
Well, before the update, I would have said yes, but since they've started updating it and stuff, I think it's a good game now. It's more playable than it was, and I think everyone should just give it a chance. Like, all the Danish guys, they've switched rosters and stuff now, and some of them are playing it. I think everyone will eventually switch over because they realise all the tournaments are going to go there. There's a tournament this weekend. I just think everyone will play it eventually. Yeah.
Is that the plan then? I mean, has Darren, the manager, said anything to you guys about what the future is going to be after this event? Are you guys going to come out as a CSGO team, or do you need to go away and have a discussion?
I'm definitely 100%. I think all of us don't want to play CSS anymore. Like even before the event was like, we don't even want to like load it up. So it's more or less 100% CSGO from after the event.
So let's talk about the last CSS LAN. I mean, we're all presuming it's going to be the last CSS event. I mean, so yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But although multiplayer have said nothing about it, I've got to keep stressing that point. This tournament here, I mean, first of all, I was surprised by some of the teams that are here. It should have been a far more competitive field. Can you shed any light? I mean, does this timer what we're talking about, that people just couldn't be asked? I mean, why don't we have all these great teams here?
I think it's because the organisations didn't want to send them to this event. Like, I honestly think if the teams had the chance to go, I think they might have, but it's basically down to money at the end of the day, and I don't think they wanted to put funds in for the game. That is as simple as that. That's it.
Yeah, I just think organisations would always just save the money for CSGO, because like Mouse didn't come, Wolves were meant to come and they didn't come. I don't know, it's just, I think the orgs wanted to save money for CSGO really.
So we're kind of left with just a few teams, many that aren't worth talking about. We've already touched on Berry Games. You've got MTW here as well. Do you think CRG, having played against them, are going to be up to the same standard of winning Epic here, or do you think their second seed is a little bit high and one of those things that's kind of just a problem with the online qualifiers?
Yeah, I think it's a problem with the qualifiers. Like, they're good, but I don't think they should deserve second seed, really. Like, MTW makes much better players than them. I think they should stop doing that online qualifiers thing. It's quite silly, because like, we come third last time at I-Series. They don't count that. Like, N Faculty is seeded above us. Yeah. So,
well, I was going to say, N Faculty being seeded above you. We had a little bit of a laugh with the MTW boys earlier about that. I mean, come on, Germans at LAN, Are we still honestly thinking they're going to do something? It's the last Source LAN.
I am not sure really. They've been in team for quite a while. And Disruptor guy's like 30, like ridiculously old, so he's played the game a long time. So they might, I honestly don't know if they'll do well. I hope not. Yeah. I really hope not. But you never know, it's LAN, isn't it? So
I think Team Alternate are the exception that prove the rule pretty much these days. And what about some of the other teams kind of going a little bit down? I want your UK players, so I want to ask you about the hilarious argument between VYE and Terminators, which gave us like 500 comments. It was absolute bullshit. So weighed in, which team's better?
Do you know what? Nimble servers have been around quite a while. Like the players as well. Like I remember watching them like when I was like an ED guy, you know, and you know, individually I think they're pretty good, and I think they practice quite a lot for this. So in merit, I think maybe them, but VIA obviously have like, you know, they put a lot of hours in for the game. So I honestly, they're no VIA. So
I don't know what their name is anymore, but the team with Pulse in it. I think
I got to say, because they're are they actually VYE now, or technically they're not?
I don't know what they are.
Do they have enough of the mighty Bauer?
Or something they're called.
These are Terminators.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I think they're better than.
Yeah, but VYE are the old Nimble server team now as well, so it's kind of like the switch.
Honestly, I honestly don't care. Like whether they get seeded, doesn't affect me. So.
But I mean, teams like that have keened it up and have got their own little personal axes to grind. Is there any risk that you guys are going to be subject to some horrific upset and finish like way down?
Like, not really. Like we have like the core of the team that finished like the last 2 I series, like i43 and i45 third. So I mean, we've obviously got like good replacement with Dan and Jamie and George. So I mean, I'm feeling pretty like, even though we haven't played, I'm feeling like we're pretty confident. But you never know. Like we have to have like on our day, we could. I hope to finish in the top 2 at least, to get past the 3rd place.
Okay, well, it's interesting. I want to ask you about the release thing, and we are hoping to do an interview with him later on, Vest notwithstanding. Hopefully you'll realise what I'm talking about in a bit. But can you talk about how you picked him up? Because, I mean, you know, he's kind of a little bit above you guys now, isn't he? He's like the big star, everyone talks about him, he's getting paid a salary and all that stuff. So what did you have to offer him?
No, nothing really. We just had the tickets, had the hotel already sorted, and we just needed a player, and we just kind of like done a little transfer with Rattlesnake and Release, because we wanted Release, and like he'd fit more with our team than Sam would. So we like asked MTW if they want to swap, and they said yeah. So we just got done.
I wasn't part of it, so I didn't really know until like Wednesday until we were getting, and I just got text like Sam or Dan, and I was like, Dan, 100% Dan. So,
isn't that going to hurt Rattlesnake's feelings a little bit hearing about this?
He's a good player, you know. He's a great player, but it's just Dan would fit better with us than Sam would.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, right. Well, we've talked about the tournament here. I want to talk about I-Series in general, where esports is all heading, and then get you some wrap-up questions about what you're going to do. So. This is the biggest UK LAN to date. That's what I'm being told. It doesn't feel like it. I don't know if that's because it's so big and the venue's kind of big, so it feels spaced out. But I've been told this is the biggest UK LAN. What do you guys think is kind of going on, the evolution of the I-Series? They've listened to the suggestions you pro players have made. They've brought in best of 3 in the groups.
That's gonna be fun.
Are you guys feeling a lot better about what the I-Series will offer?
Yeah, I think like the tournament format is much better as well. I think like people will get more games, because like you can get quite lucky in one map, you know, beat someone, you know, who maybe you shouldn't have beat on just because on the day. So in the best of 3, if you beat them in the best 3, you deserve to win. Like it's like 2 out of the 3 maps you deserve. So I mean, I think it's been a bit like slow than bringing it in, like the last CSS event, and then they bring it in. It's like, well, this would have been great like 2 years ago. It'd been great, because then everyone got like smaller groups, best 3s. So everyone would have got more games at LAN. Like so, some of the lesser teams could have played like 8 games instead of just like 5. You know? It
seems a bit contradictory though, because whenever I talk about you guys and stuff, it's great for you guys not having to be in the groups. Yeah. But if you had missed out on a seed and you were in the groups and it was best of 3 in the groups, you guys would be raging, because you've got to play a bunch of randoms, not just once each, but you know, twice each.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't really mind playing the groups that much. But it's just teams like some teams don't like it. I don't really mind it because it's good warm up and stuff. But I can understand why some people don't like playing the groups. Yeah.
But I mean, how do you feel about the kind of I-Series just as a whole? Because obviously you've come to loads. I mean, perhaps you less so than some of the older guys. I mean, does this one feel? Have you got a good feeling about it? A good vibe?
I think it's my like 6th I-Series.
Because the last one, it was pretty fucking dead, man.
It was awful, like awful. Yeah, the summer one's usually pretty like a lot more people around. I've been in. It's a bit bigger. Feels bigger this event with the bar and stuff. I'm not getting a great vibe of it, to be honest. it seems a bit flat, but you know, when the game start, like, you know, the land shards are all over the place. I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah, hoping that's the case. If that is, then I think the event will be great. I think like the location still is class, like awesome. But yeah. That's it.
And what about Go events? Have you got any plans to attend any of those? Because we've already seen some announced. ESWC looking likely. We've got DreamHack up there. Yeah. These are premier esports events, and they're going to pick up this FPS title. Yeah. So are we going to see a Fragmasters team kind of evolve into that big time and be there?
Yeah, we're definitely going to apply for both of them. And there's another event in Belgium, FOM. We might attend that as well.
September.
Yeah, well, it's funny because that kind of come off from nowhere. It's like, what, 3,500, isn't it? So it's decent pop for a FOM.
Yeah, I've seen it's cheap flights over. So, I mean, I think if we do like go and start killing it up for Go, I think FOM would probably be like the closest for us. We'll obviously apply for IEM, I think, and yeah, IEM, and the other one, what's it called, sorry?
DreamHack.
DreamHack, yeah, we're going to apply for DreamHack. And
hopefully you're not doing the applying.
100% not. Yeah, them too. I think there's some other events in Copenhagen again. So, like, I hope like this is a perfect time like to go to all these events around the world. Like CSS didn't really have that. Like if there's an event every like 2 events a month, that would be awesome. Like we want to attend every single one. That's the plan.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us. I wish you all the best in the tournament. I'm sure it's going to be exciting times, and I'm sure it will pick up once the games begin. To all the people out there at cadred.org, do stay tuned to the website. We're going to have more video interviews like this one, and you could understand Phil this time, which was good. Unlike the last one, check it out if you haven't already. So do stay tuned to cadred.org for more coverage from here at i46.